Hello, our valuable viewers. It is useful to listen to our videos until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our new videos. Let's go to our topic. These days, anytime we review a supercar, muscle car, or well, virtually anything powered by a large, naturally aspirated gasoline engine, we inevitably lament their seemingly imminent demise. With forced induction, electrification and combinations of both unlocking ever more power, high revving 8-10- or 12-cylinder engines that breathe in atmospheric pressure without assistance and blow it up with some, often a lot, of fuel aren't long for this world. Engines like the 5.2-liter V10 in the 2023 Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica, for example. You might recognize the Tecnica as simply the latest version of Lamborghini's long-serving Huracan, the brand's entry-level supercar edging past the workaday Huracan Evo. It might also be the final installment before Lamborghini replaces this generation, and it's going out on a high note. Remember 2021's Huracan Stow? The 2023 Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica is basically that road-going track car, but stripped of its wilder aerodynamic elements and with a fuller interior and a normally trimmed front trunk. Lamborghini dials back some of the raciness from the Stow's tuning here as well, resulting in a Huracan that nearly walks like an Stow while being generally more streetable and comfortable, and certainly talks like one, with the same ear-ringing soundtrack from, well, the same 630 HP V10. Is a less feral Stow any less fun? That is the biggest question of all. We loved the Stow when we first tested it, and when it competed in our inaugural Performance Vehicle of the Year competition last year. Lamborghini seemingly took a track car, put normal seat belts in it, and decided that was good enough to qualify as a real car. This isn't hyperbole, the name stands for Super Trofeo Omologata, as in it is a homologation special done up for Lambo's single-make racing series and GT3 competition. As a trade-off for its more Spartan interior, exposed carbon fiber elements, firm ride, and tenacious noise and intake snorkel on the roof make sure of it you are given gut reorienting grip, immediate responses, and non-stop feedback through every control. Aerodynamic downforce also is a big part of the Stow experience, and one of the first differences we detected between the Huracan Tecnica and its racy progenitor, next to its more livable cabin noise levels at everyday speeds and better ride quality. Without the Stow's towering rear wing, deep front splitter, and other air-directing bits, the Tecnica feels looser in higher-speed maneuvers. It remains wicked fast, particularly on a track, and its moves are razor-sharp. But on faster sections of the streets of Willow at Willow Springs International Raceway, the slightly more forgiving and less downforce-enhanced Tecnica simply moves around more on the Bridgestone Potenza race tires it shares with the Stow. Deal killer? Hardly. Just look at our test numbers. With the same 630 HP and 417 pounds-ft of torque as the Stow, being routed through the same 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission to the rear tires, the Tecnica matches the Stow's acceleration to 60 miles per hour 2.8 seconds and beats it to the quarter mile by 0.1 second and 2.2 miles per hour. Lacking race-level downforce presence as a double-edged sword here. The lower drag Tecnica can beat the Stow to higher speeds. Once at those higher speeds, however, it lacks the Stow's more sure-footed feel, as its spoilers aren't pressing it into the pavement as hard. Lower speed handling isn't impacted as much by the Tecnica's lower downforce, with our test car notching a 96-foot stop from 60 miles per hour and 1.09 grams average on our skid pad, just 1 foot longer and 0.05 grams behind the Stow's performances. Just 0.3 seconds separates the Tecnica from the Stow on our figure-8 lap, 22.6 seconds at an average 0.94 grams versus the Stow's 22.3 at 0.99 g. More impressive is how close these data points are despite the Tecnica weighing just shy of 100 pounds more. These figures place the Tecnica in heady company among the twin-turbo McLaren 720S, which we've tested, and the Ferrari 296 GTB, whose performance estimates line up with the Lambos. Ferociously friendly. Unless you spend your commute cornering at well above highway speeds, the 2023 Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica gives up little to its Stow counterpart. In fact, the slightly relaxed limits let you play around with the Lambo more at regular paces. Go ahead, step the tail out a little exiting that tight bend. The Bridgestones, along with Lamborghini's imperceptible rear wheel steering, work together to deliver progressive rear end breakaway. For a wedge-shaped supercar with so much power delivered to only half its wheels, the Tecnica is almost shockingly approachable, with its clearly telegraphed limits available for exploration rather than being vague barriers to trip over and get into trouble with. Yes, you must respect the V10's full might. And definitely pay attention to the temperature or lack thereof in the near-slick tires. But provided the car and you are warmed up and it isn't snowing outside, you can spend all day simply going faster and faster. The Stow offered a similar experience but left your head buzzing from the noise while the rest of your body felt as if it went through a rock tumbler. The Tecnica keeps the Stow's best parts and blends them with a smoother, quieter ride and a little extra high-speed edge. We'd say it even looks better without all the Stow's wings and things, but Lamborghini's latest restyle of the Huracan clutters up a lot of the clean, angular surfacing that gave earlier models more appeal. The X-shaped front end in particular is laid on pretty thick. Our only other complaints. Some narrower-bodied drivers on our staff found the front seats weren't supportive enough as the wide backrests allow torsos to slide left to right in hard driving. And like in the Stow, the Strata Street Drive mode and automatic gear selection are too lazy even for, well, street driving. Every time we flipped the missile arming style door on the center console and pushed the starter button, our next hand movements were to the manual mode button below it, and then to the steering wheel drive mode switch, which we thumbed to the sport setting, or if on track Corsa mode. If you missed out on the Stow, the 2023 Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica is now the one to buy. Even if you didn't miss out, it's still the Huracan to buy, unless you want to go off-road, in which case, have you seen the new Huracan Sterrato? Maybe Lamborghini isn't killing the Huracan so soon after all.